At his federal corruption trial in Newark today, prosecutors say that Senator Robert Menendez advocated so strongly for his co-defendant's business interest that Menendez met not only with Democratic leadership, but also with the health secretary at the time. This as the New Jersey Democrats spoke with FiOS News about Puerto Rico, the Las Vegas shooting, and more. Our Dominic Carter, he has the very latest from the courthouse.
And good evening to you, Richard. Walking up to us, the senator had a lot on his mind. First, Menendez wanted to talk about the mass shooting in Las Vegas.
First of all, my thoughts and my prayers are with all of those who lost a loved one and many who are injured. And as someone who has always raised concerns about gun violence in our country, this is a horrific event, the most significant mass shooting that we have had in the country's history.
The shooting highlights a dilemma for Menendez. With this federal corruption trial, Menendez is forced to be here at the courthouse and not in Washington. New Jersey's senior senator is vowing he will be vindicated.
So yeah, I have a degree of frustration, but I look forward to being exonerated, returning to the Senate, and being able to do the work I've always done.
On the witness stand, showing just how persistent Menendez was in reaching out to government officials on behalf of his co-defendant, Dr. Solomon Melgen. The top Medicare official from the Obama administration testified that Menendez pushed hard for Melgen to be able to bill multiple times or for medication only approved by the FDA for one-time use per vial. Administrator Jonathan Blum testified that in his 2009 telephone call with Menendez, the senator was hostile, aggressive, and his tone angry. Quote, "I believe that he hung up on me." 3 years later, Menendez pushed for and got a meeting with top Democrat Harry Reid and even the Secretary of Health and Human Services. Bloom described Menendez again as aggressive and said it was a very angry exchange. Prosecutors charged Menendez interceded on Dr. Melgen's behalf on several issues with government officials, including the Dominican Republic port security contract, an $8.9 million Medicare billing dispute Melgen had, and securing visas for 3 of Melgen's alleged former girlfriends. In exchange, they charge Melgen gave Menendez hundreds of thousands of dollars in campaign cash, lavish vacations, and flights on his private jet. Richard, meanwhile, regarding the devastation in Puerto Rico, Menendez says he can understand the frustration of the mayor there and her ongoing war of words with President Trump. Senator, this ongoing feud between the mayor of San Juan and President Trump, what do you make of it?
Listen, having just returned from Puerto Rico, I understand the enormous frustration and the challenges that exist. And I understand that the governor of Puerto Rico obviously sees the president as someone who he needs, and I understand that. I also understand the mayor of San Juan's frustrations, having seen still the lack of energy and distribution of water and communities that are totally secluded from the rest of the government because roads and bridges are wiped out, as I saw from my helicopter ride. So the bottom line, I understand what's going on. I also understand that, I know those criticize the mayor. I would just simply say silence when things are not right is also something that shouldn't be expected. So I think we need to do a lot of work, and I hope to get back to the Senate this week to talk to my colleagues about what I saw.
Democrats are continuing to stand by Menendez, almost always pointing to a tireless work ethic for constituents. But the feds are not focusing on his work ethic. They're focusing on alleged corruption.
I don't think there's any alleged corruption. I just know that he knows this doctor for many years. That's all I know.
Okay. And you think he'll be vindicated?
I'm hopeful that he'll be vindicated.
Richard, Senator Menendez and Dr. Melgen say they have done nothing wrong. We conclude on this note that federal judge William Walls has kept away from this jury the fact that Dr. Melgen has already been convicted of Medicare fraud earlier this year in Florida. At the federal courthouse in Newark, I'm Dominic Carter. Richard, let's go back to you in the studio.
Thank you very much, Dominic. Coming up next, we're going to take a look at some local headlines, so please stay with us.